Hello, this is Mrs. Groves. Today I would like to spend some time giving you some notes so that you can keep them in your binder on how to do 2 keyword problems in this chapter. So you will need your book. So you need to get books. You might have to share with somebody if people forgot their books. And you'll need notebook paper because I did not provide guided notes for these notes. And so what I want you to do is get the book, turn to page 449, which is problem number 39. So hopefully you have books. And what I want you to do for the next five minutes is I want you to read that word problem. And here is a template. And basically a word problem, if you do it correctly, is going to take an entire page. We're going to do 2 word problems, one on front and one on back. And so the word problem that you're doing right now is on page 449, number 39. Okay. And it is a current word problem. When you have a current word problem, the best way to do the key information is to draw a picture, define the variables, write the equations, and then you want to answer it in words. So I'm going to give you like 5 minutes to read it and get started, and then I'll help you out. So I'll play a song for you. While you're doing that.
One, two, three. 1, 2, 3. All right. Got to know how to hold it.
I think this song's a little mellower for you to work with.
Don't make it bad. Take a sad song and make it better. Remember to let it in your heart. Then you can start to make it better. Hey, Jude, don't be afraid. You were made to go out and get her. The minute you let her under your skin, then you begin to make it better. Anytime you feel the pain, hey Jude, refrain. Don't carry the world upon
fun song. So now, let's go through this problem. Hopefully, you were able to understand it somewhat. You had some of these problems for homework last night. So, we have a boat, a rowboat. And the rowboat is going up and back. And it is the boat right here. When it goes up, it's going upstream. And so if it's going upstream, it's going against the current. So here it's 4.3 meters per second when it goes up. When it's coming down, okay, it has the current with it. So the current is going to be pushing it. So when it comes down, when it goes downstream, okay, it is going 4.9 meters per second. Right? So now we have to define two variables. And the variables are, the first variable is what is the stream if there is no current? So that is the average, and that's an abbreviation for average, speed in still water. So if there's no current, this is going to be meters per second. Don't forget the units. The other variable is, well, what's the speed of the current? So the average speed of the current is the same thing, has the same units. So we have still water and we have the current. So when it's going upstream, and this is easy to understand, they both start with X. Okay? When it's going upstream, the constant is 4.3. When it's going downstream, the constant here is 4.9. So, going upstream, we're going against the current. So, that's going to be subtracting the speed of the current. When we're going downstream, we have still water plus the speed of the current. So that is very easy to solve with systems of equations because we have one variable, okay, and it's going to cancel out. So we're going to get 2x equals 9.2. Divide by 2. So x equals, use your handy dandy calculator, 4.6. 4.6 is going to be the speed of the in still water. Now we need to find y. So I'm going to take the second equation. X is 4.6, We want to find y equals 4.9. You could do it mentally or subtract 4.6 from both sides. You get y equals 0.3. And that is the speed of the current. It's good to check. So our first equation is x minus y. 4.6 minus 0.3 is 4.3. So 4.3 equals 4.3. Cha-ching, it checks. Check the other equation. 4.6 plus 0.3 is 4.9. So 4.9 equals 4.9. Cha-ching, it checks. So the answer in words is the speed in still water is 4.6 meters per second, and the speed of the current is 0.3 meters per second. So there is the entire worked out problem. Make sure you have that. You will have a problem like this on your Chapter 7 test. And now we're going to go on to the next problem. So you'll need your books again. And the next problem is on page 456, number 39. So turn to page 456. Number 39. And here is the sketched out problem. So I want you to read this problem on page 456 and try to fill in as much of this as you can. And then I will come back and go over exactly how to do this problem. For this example, I'm going to, as we're listening to a song, I'm going to be filling in some of the answers.
One, two, three. One, two, three. 'Cause I'm being followed by a moon shadow, moon shadow, moon shadow. Leaping and hopping on a moon shadow, moon shadow, moon shadow. And if I ever lose my hands, lose my plow, lose my land, if I ever lose my hands, oh, I won't have to work no more. And if I ever lose my eyes, if my colors all run dry, it's if I ever lose my eyes, oh, I won't have to cry no more. Yes, I'm being followed by a moon shadow, moon shadow, moon shadow, leaping and hopping on a moon shadow, moon shadow, moon shadow. And if I ever lose my legs, I won't moan and I won't beg. Oh, if I ever lose my legs, oh, I won't have to walk no more. And if I ever lose my mouth, all my teeth, north and south, yes, if I ever lose my mouth, oh, I won't have to talk. Did it take long to find me? I asked the faithful light. Oh, did it take long to find me? And are you gonna stay the night? I'm being followed by a moon shadow, moon shadow, moon shadow. Leaping and hopping on a moon shadow, moon shadow, moon shadow. Moon shadow, moon shadow, moon shadow, moon shadow.
All right, at this point, it's very important. You read the problem, you read it several times, you get your key information written down. Then you read the question to define your variables. The question they ask you is how many apple pies and batches of applesauce can be made if every apple is used. Okay, so you're looking for the number of apple pies. So we can define X and Y because we have two different types of apples. Okay, so, excuse me, I take that back. Rewind. They're asking you for the number of pies and the amount of applesauce. So they want to know the number of apple pies and the number of batches of applesauce. Okay. And so for some abbreviations, feel free to use the number sign when you're using number. Okay, so in this case, we're looking for the number of apple pies and the number of batches of applesauce. And use the dollar sign if it were dollars. Now, if you have the key information written down and you've defined your variables, then writing these equations is very easy. All right? To make a pie, so you're going to have an equation for Granny Smith. Oops. You can have you're going to use the Granny Smith apples. And to make a pie, you need 5 Granny Smith, and you need and to make applesauce, you need 4 grannies to make applesauce. And you have a total of 169 Granny Smith apples. So this is the number of pies. This is the batches of applesauce. You have 169 Granny Smith apples. To make a pie, you need 5. And to make applesauce, you need 4. For Golden Delicious, to make a pie, you need 3 Delicious. For applesauce, you need 2. And you have a total of 95 delicious apples. So now I'll play one more song while you're going through and you're going to solve this. So there's your equations, but so that you can have very good notes, rewrite it down here. Okay, this is going to be the multiplication method. And so I'm going to play a song, and I'll finish this up, and you finish it up, and then you'll have some great notes.
I'm looking for a hard-headed woman, one who'll take me for myself. And if I find my hard-headed woman, I won't need nobody else. No, no, no. I'm looking for a hard-headed woman, one who'll make me do my best. And if I find my hard-headed woman, I know the rest of my life will be blessed. Yes, 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 yes. I know a lot of fancy dancers, people who can glide you on the floor. Oh, oh. They move so smooth, but have no answer. Oh, oh, oh. When you ask what you come here for, I don't mind. I know many fine, fair one who will make me do my best. And if I find my hard-headed woman, yes, I'm being followed by a moon shadow, moon shadow, moon shadow, leaping and hopping on a moon shadow, moon shadow, moon shadow. And if I ever lose my hands, lose my plow, lose my land, oh, if I ever lose my hands, oh, I won't have to work no more. And if I ever lose my eyes, if my colors all run dry, it's if I ever lose my eyes, oh, I won't have to cry no more. Yes, I'm being followed by a moon shadow, moon shadow, moon shadow, leaping and hopping on a moon shadow, moon shadow, moon shadow. And if I ever lose my legs, I won't moan and I won't beg. Oh, if I ever lose my legs, oh, I won't have to walk no more. And if I ever lose my mouth, all my teeth, north and south, yes, if I ever lose my mouth.
All right, so how did you make out? Hopefully you made out well. Okay. Hopefully you noticed that when I checked, I used my calculator. Simply write the equations, put them into your calculator, and that makes sure that you have the correct answer. Now you know that you can't have part of an apple left because the question said that you had to use all of the apples. So if these were decimals, you know that that doesn't make sense. And I did this problem the long way. You could have simply multiplied this bottom equation by -2, and you would have gotten exactly the same answer. So, in summary, here is the answer to that problem. Make sure that you put these in notes so you can refer to them when you're studying for the test. Have a good day. Talk to you later. Mrs. Groves.